Welcome back to the third birthday. We're going to look at some more, looks like our weapons. I thought for sure we were going into our over energy settings there, but no, we're going to expand our capacity and stuff for the handgun, because the handgun is an invaluable tool in this game. It's, I don't know if I'd want to call it a necessary evil, but it's necessary, that's for sure, because you sure don't get enough ammo for the rest of them. And you can see some of the upgrades you can buy. You can see the blue up arrows and the red down arrows. Those will, depending on the upgrade, you'll gain and lose stats. But, I mean, for the most part, it's mostly gains. And this is where you're introduced to negative over energy DNA nodes, which is they're kind of a necessary evil. They're unfortunate, but I mean, the benefit here is that you can just sit there and just re-roll until you get something that's more beneficial. So like that, a level 2 heal, that would be mostly nice, but there's sometimes you can get really good rolls, but they're really hard to get. But so that's what we have in our over energy so far. We have we have healing, boost fire, energy defense, and cross healing. The energy defense is really nice. It's a constant defense boost. And the cross healing, the higher the level, the higher odds there are for it to go off. But basically, when you do when you overdive into another NPC, there's a chance that they heal. But we'll definitely take that. That's a boost to our energy defense, and then we get the power surge to go along with that. So that's pretty cool. You don't necessarily get anything too good. The other downside, you don't necessarily get anything too great this early in the game. You will get much better DNA things later on, but this is what I was talking about the your outfit deteriorating as you take damage. You have to actually spend BP to repair it, which is another unfortunate thing, but it's a necessary evil. You repair it, you get your full defense back, and then life's good. But so if you notice there, December 24th, 2012, so this is a year earlier than where we were at the beginning. Beginning was December 24th, at headquarters. Basically this calamity thing is happening on Christmas Eve 2013. So we went a year into the past to try to resolve some of the issues, which is...
It's just like my dream.
It's kind of a weird concept, and I really, really don't like it when games get into time travel, because it's...
I'm picking up a giant tremor!
Like, I mean, it's doable if you do it right, if you don't try to get too overly complicated, but a lot of games will try to get way too overly complex with a lot of things, and the whole time travel deal just gets really muddy and gross, and I'd rather not deal with it. But
destroy the orbs.
So this is
Orbs in this area.
this is where they introduce a new gimmick. You have to destroy the orbs, and basically these things are like...
They are twisted everywhere. Be careful.
These orbs are basically like the Devil May Cry red orbs. So you'll have a bunch of enemies protecting these orb things, but if you take the orbs out, that's the whole goal. So you just want to focus on taking those out first, and then take the enemies out. Sometimes you have to take the enemies out because they just get in the way. They go after you way too much. But you take the orb out, then you take the enemies out, and then when you take the orb out, they stop respawning, so it's nice. Because sometimes you get things that they'll just keep respawning. But so here we go. This guy's got a shotgun. You see the blast radius open up while you're running. And then it tightens up when you stop. You get some pretty decent damage output out of them, but they're not... they don't get much better until you really get to start upgrading them. You can see the damage difference. You do less per shot with like the assault rifles and the handgun. Like less damage per shot, but you can see if you get a good setup and the enemy doesn't move, you can just, for the simpler enemies, you basically just melt their health bar with them. So it's a lot more what's the word? It's a lot more practical to use the assault rifles for these kind of enemies. It's just, you gotta wait for them to stop moving, because if you try to shoot them while they're moving, you just... they're like cactuars in Final Fantasy. You can't hit them when they're moving. Well, the ones in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, anyway. Now, you've probably noticed on some of the NPCs off to the side, there's some characters with the little, I guess it's like a little eagle icon beside them. Those are the captains. There's something specific about them I don't remember, but you'll see areas like this too, where you'll have exit doors, and you can see on the map that there's an area to go over there, but you'll have like a barricade kind of blocking them off. So if you throw a grenade at it, you'll get rid of the barricades, which is, it's kind of neat. Neat little gimmick. But we're going to swap over to that guy because he's full up on health, so... Now, what you can do, too, is when you're in an area like this and you have one character that's, like, low on health, you can just keep... If you have a cross-healing DNA node, you can... or a cross-healing DNA chip, you can just basically swap back and forth, and eventually the cross-heal will proc, and your characters will get healed up. It's just, if it's only one character you need healing, you have to kind of hope. You have to sit there and hope that it's going to be the character that you switch to that has the low health that's going to get the heal. And you can see in some areas like this, that last NPC guy, he ran too low on health and he died, so we got a new captain joining in. And there's our next crystal. So once we take that crystal out, we can get rid of this enemy that just spawned in. And now that orb's gone, you notice the battle music changed. So that means we're done with the orbs in this area. No more enemies are going to spawn in. But as long as those orbs are there, you're going to get enemies spawning in. And once this music starts playing, this is the equivalent to like the Resident Evil save room music. Once you start hearing this, it means there's no enemies around. You'll hear this in, I think, just about every single save room in the game. Or I should call them safe rooms, because they're...
The survivors.
They're safe rooms that give you the ability to save. But there's another orb. That's a big boy. And you'll notice all the enemies spawning in here because that's like the big boy orb. But these enemies are pretty basic. If you can get an overdive on them before they get their bubbles off, then you don't have to worry about trying to dodge those. And you can see the crystal all the way back there. There are bonuses that you can get. There will be some, there'll be civilians. Like you'll see on the right there, there's a guy, that Jamar guy that just died. He's got like a little ID card shaped thing beside his name. That means he's a civilian, so if you swap to them, I don't think they have any weapons. And you see, we just ran out of ammo for our assault rifle there, so that's unfortunate. That's why you have to focus on upgrading the handgun for your first couple plays through the game, because if you don't upgrade the handgun, you're gonna find yourself in quite a pickle, because you're gonna be upgrading all the other guns. Yes, they're gonna be powerful, but you're not gonna have enough. You're not gonna have enough ammo on the assault rifles and stuff to take care of all the enemies, and you're gonna have to be constantly swapping back and forth to you're gonna have to be constantly overdiving into other NPCs just to try and keep up, and you're gonna run out, and then eventually you're gonna get to a spot where you don't have any ammo refills left, and you're stuck with the handguns. So there's that. All right, safe room. I always found it weird when they have open areas like that with invisible walls blocking you off, but so we're gonna swap over to another character with full health. Top off our ammo. I don't think there's a computer in this room though. Normally there's a computer in the rooms where you can go into it and save and stuff, but or access different things as a terminal, but okay, so it's more find the orbs. So there's one orb there. I always found that if you get in there and prioritize destroying the orbs, you end up a lot better off later, because then you don't have to worry about more enemies spawning in. The downside is, the more enemies that spawn in and the more enemies that you take out, the more experience and BP you're going to get, which will help you out for all your upgrades and stuff, and your level ups and whatever else. And the other benefit to it is I think some enemies drop DNA chips, or... No, I think you get the DNA chips by doing the overdives. And then eventually there's stuff that you can do in your... there's stuff that you can do with the DNA later to get boosts for, I think, the probability of DNA chips dropping when you overdive. I think. Don't quote me on that. This playthrough from back in 2013 was probably, I'm gonna say, probably pretty close to one of the last times I actually played the game. So I'm going from memory here. And I didn't watch these all back yet, so I'm kind of like reacting to it at the same time. And no, I don't have any intention of becoming a reaction channel. No thanks. Okay, so we're back at the kind of central hub. This mission isn't really the most straightforward, but there. So we're gonna have some more enemies pop in here.
We gotta destroy the orb.
But this mission, if you haven't guessed it, was basically just find the orb. There, and you see they're all collected there. So if you throw a grenade at them, when they're all bunched up like that, you get rid of them real quick. And that's why the grenades are so beneficial. And in the early game, when you get a situation like that where you have a bunch of crystals and stuff, or a bunch of enemies that just group together that you want to deal with them quick so that they can do as little damage to you and your NPCs as possible, it's fine to use the grenades there, but if you have just a single normal enemy that you're trying to deal with, I would say save the grenades, because they are much, much more useful and you don't ever want to be without them. Now, you will get very frequent grenade top-ups Not as frequent as the ammo top-ups, but they do exist. You will be able to, you just look for the little green spires that you see kind of floating around the environment, and most of the time they're ammo, but like this is probably ammo. Oh, no, it's grenades. That's different. Game's trying to make a liar out of me. For the most part, they'll usually be ammo, though, because you're using your ammo a lot more. And the grenades are very limited, but you can see there we only have, what is that, 8 rounds left? So, by no means a lot of ammo left. But in this, you're basically playing a game of follow the arrows. There, and we're out of ammo. And this is where the handgun really shines. Because, like, look at the damage with the handgun. You just upgraded a few times, and you're pulling off similar damage to the assault rifles. And you don't have to worry about upgrading the assault rifles until you really start, like, stacking up on BP. And, like, so if you're going to play through this game, I would say prioritize the first few levels of upgrades to the handgun. And then once you start unlocking better assault rifles, and you can just kind of keep those on the back burner and prioritize the handgun. And then once you start getting those better assault rifles and really stacking your BP, then you can, when you feel comfortable that you have enough BP, you can kind of just dump all the BP into like capacity upgrades for the assault rifles, and then you don't really have to worry as much about burning through your ammo supply because you're going to have much more of it. But at the same time, you don't want to just prioritize capacity. You want to prioritize the weapon power. There's the ammo recharge. And there's the terminal I was talking about. Usually in every safe room, you'll find one of those. You see there, we got some new, because we used the characters that had those new weapons, we can now buy them. And there you see we got a rare DNA with some healing and restock. I think restock, I believe restock is when you overdive, you have a chance of recovering some ammo, I think. I may be wrong. But I would say if you have a bunch of DNA chips, you might as well throw them on the board, because you're going to want to get them started, and you get so many of them throughout the game, like, you're not going to be really losing out on much. And then you can sit there and play with them to customize to see what kind of benefits you can get from it. Usually I like to see if I can get like those, the mutated one with, those are usually pretty good. Normally, though, at a minimum, I go for like one level each, because anything less than that's kind of pointless, unless it's like just a filler ability that you don't care about. But there, so we got a new assault rifle, which is really handy because being able to fill that third weapon slot is really nice. And this is where you really start to get a feel for how things are going to go, because if you look at the ammo capacity on this, it's 400, so that's quite a bit of ammo to work with. I mean, from from a weapon like that perspective, it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, it is what it is. But I think we're coming to the end of our upgrades here pretty soon. So, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like these, make sure you hit the subscribe button and repair your armor. And until next time, thanks for watching.